I mean, it was a little bit more worth for that moment, slightly, for a second. I would agree with you, but...
I was being sarcastic.
I know. That's why I'm just being like, well... So, Dudu is doing some dance moves down here as he gets ready for the neutral cap.
And Kong gets isolated again. There's a helping hook onto Mora so they can escape.
Dudu's like, well, all right, so you guys don't need me, right? I'm just going to go back to dance and then killing mercs. I'll be back later. Puts up his AIM away message, be back later.
Helping in once more. First bullet onto Wiz and Twilight Dream for the save.
Sick ice block again with the amazing Twilight Dream. Unfortunately, this is still a 5v3 because of the camp attempt in the bot lane. They committed to it. There was some hesitation, but at the end of the day, they decided to actually continue to grab that. We'll see how much value it garners here as BlossoM is still able to, you know, retreat there and get away. Remember, if that was a 5v5 with that Twilight Dream and the ice block, it would have been pretty good. Still, the 5v3, not good enough for them there. Daka's going to go deal with the minion wave bot, and they do have enough for a turn-in. 7 carried right now, make that 9 of the 5 required.
They can catch up a lot of the XP because all the forts are still there. If they get all the structures, then this by 16 minutes, the Wet Weavers will be much stronger now. So they have the chance to actually catch up to all the way to 20. They will be closer to it if they get all the forts down. This is another lava wave onto the top.
Yeah, this is going to kind of push this top Web Weaver back and obviously keep the lane kind of always back there. Still can't kill structures, can't damage structures at all. Another hook here with the Gorge they commit this time. We'll see the root dropped here, so Gondar's just going to turn around and trap him in here.
No,
doesn't get the root though. Yeah, doesn't get the root either. And MSG actually escapes with the Dwarf Toss, gets the landing stun there. So that was pretty good turnaround there. Lava Wave makes the top push weaker, but as you guys can see on the minimap, not really stopping this from getting down to the keep wall. It's so important that RR didn't lose any keeps. That's what keeps this game so close. If they lost the keep, we'd be in a different scenario. But now they have the Weaver push. They have the split push with the Haka bot. And they're going to get 21st, actually, in a twist of this game, the change in momentum, the change of a lead.
If they want to go all-in hook with the Gorge, you have to communicate with the team. Do you have the Twilight Dream? Can we kill if I Gorge onto Morden, onto the Haka, which is very tanky? And it seemed like the communication was off for a second. If with the Twilight Dream, I think that could have been a kill for sure, and that would have made it so much easier for them to clear these Wet Weavers. I think because of that reason, Aurora caught all the EXP, and here's the kill onto Stitches once more.
This was a disaster. This was a... I'll use the T word.
Lava Surge.
I'll say terrible decision by Gondar. He goes in, pings his teammates like, why aren't you coming over to, I have a Gorge, why aren't you coming over to capitalize on this? Without knowing on the minimap and also listening to comms of his teammates that the entirety of RR was rotating down. If BlossoM came in to try to get that pick on the Gorge target, they would have been wiped because RR had the perfect angle to come in and engage on top of them. So, you know, it just... That move there to be aggressive with the Stitches was the incorrect one. He pays for it with his life. And yeah, as you said, the upgrade to Lava Wave, the Lava Surge at 20. Is this going to be the game changer? Is this going to be what brings BlossoM back into the game now, down a keep?
We'll
Not
do
so
a lot
sure.
of damage to the boss, I guess.
Yeah.
Because boss cannot... it's AI and he cannot just escape from the lava wave.
The boss is smarter than most people I play with in Hero League against Raw Life. It will just walk through it. It won't walk backwards at the exact same movement speed to maximize the lava wave damage. So I guess the boss has that going for him. He's like, oh, was there a lava wave just there? He was lucky too because the boss stopped moving in it to maximize its damage by like 0.5 seconds.
There's an extra charge to it, so he can use it once more if he chooses to, and hooks another onto Muradin. Gorgeous Muradin again, Mora very low but does not get killed.
Okay, it's going to be the double here. See if they can capitalize on this. Here comes the Twilight Dream and...
and turn around everything here.
The Molten Core here gets the stun, and this is an overextension by RR. Second Lava Wave comes out. Oduk is in trouble. This looks like it's going to be the complete team wipe here, and as they say, the throws are real. That's going to go all the way to the core. That means that they could just easily go overtake the keep. There's no boss available, but it's just going to be a march across the victory line here. The victory lap for BlossoM will be taken as they walk straight over to the keep. No minions here except the new wave. It's going to be a massive wave of minions coming for BlossoM onto the core. 30 seconds left on death timers here. They probably just walk right up, slap it, and say, all right, we took match point. That was a close call. I'm glad they committed into our Molten Core there. The Twilight Dreams all game long, really good for Wiz. The double gorge there at the end, also removing them from the team fight. And RR just went way too hard, overextended themselves, and BlossoM will take match point here on their map pick, Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Well done. Gondar almost lost the game because of overextending a little bit. We could see, not just from that moment, from a lot of the moments that we were explaining, their communication was very off, actually. When they had to go for the picks, it was not really completed. RR could have pressed the advantage on that, but at the end, Gondar coming back, and he made the super play, eating multiple targets, and perfect time for the Twilight Dream and the Molten Core. They had everything together to turn that fight around, and RR I think they got caught off guard a little bit at the end.
Some people would say that game wasn't clean. Some people would call it
hot.
A clown
lava
party, I think is what they say. A clown fiesta.
Yes.
Some people might say there's a lot to learn, and I think that if you go back and watch that game, that's the best way to take a look at it. Is there were positioning mistakes, there were talent, build, perhaps interesting decisions. Using that caster I word, you've got some weird movements on the map, then the overcommitment there on the keep. It was a dirty game, G-Clip. It was not clean. That was not the game I can go, wow, these two teams are just going back and forth at each other. They're so evil, even in skill. This is top level. This was messy. There was definitely mud flung on both sides, but at the end of the day, BlossoM wins the fight that matters there in the end under the keep as the boss goes down. Twilight Dream was good. The Gorge was good. It was gorgeous, as they say. So now we're going into the map pick of BlossoM as they will look to close out this best of 5. They've chosen now just the Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 1, if I'm not mistaken, was chosen by RR for Infernal Shrine. So maybe they go for another smaller map here, or a 2-lane map if they want to play the Cho'Gall.
Well, they can bring in their favorite Vala and go to BOE and finish the... No, actually not. They are going for the big macro, as RRR has been having a very hard time in the bigger maps especially. So it is Towers of Doom.
Yeah, they banned Cursed Hollow. This is a very similar map. So that's why it's chosen.
That lava surge will be my memory for the entire life. That was a great way of using it. When the boss was coming through, got the extra charge onto it. So at the end, when they were winning the teamfight anyhow, Greymane was zoned out because of that too. Little questionable. Smash would have guaranteed the kills though. So more likely going for the Smash, please.
Yeah. I said the same, and I will continue to echo that sentiment, but the conclusion of this G-Club is Lava Wave 100% win rate. That's what everyone should say. Put it in the statistic books. So Towers of Doom going to be about the global pressure, the poking. Li Ming definitely going to be heavily prioritized by RRR. That's going to be their way to try to win these fights around altars, delay them, delay the channels. So a good pick for HGC. We'll see if she grabs it in the second rotation. Very likely. Not the first one, though. They will have first ban. And it's been the Genji ban or the Anubarak ban in this slot for them. Might just go for the Anubarak to start things off. See if they get Uther left available. That's going to be the plan for now, for the time being.
For the last one, or the last two one, it was Genji, yes. It will be the same for now. Let's see if they go for... Last time they went for Ariel, but this time it's Avatar coming into play.
Well, this is a hero that was first picked in Korea exclusively for a long time. First pick on this map, as well as on Cursed Hollow. So we'll see what RR wants to do with this. When you think about Oduk on the Greymane and you have the Abathur already, that's something that BlossoM may want to consider grabbing away. I wouldn't even wouldn't mind to see the Uther with the Greymane taken now for BlossoM, take that away from Oduk, and then weaken and cheapen the Abathur pick.
It's very great to see all these heroes coming out without any balance changes. Abathur has been almost the same for a long time, and because there were lots of dives, like Genji, Zeratul, even Malthael coming in, after providing shield and the constant damage, has been top tier because of that.
Wow, TAS Tracer. That's that's an early prioritization of this.
Very early indeed.
Not that there's massive counters to TAS Tracer that you can get, but showing this early definitely gives RR the opportunity to draft around it. Kind of a shocking pick. Maybe they were afraid RR was going to take the Tracer over the Greymane, which how RR plays is pretty unlikely of a scenario, but still going to be Illidan and Greymane, so two amazing heroes to pair with the Abathur here. And I feel like BlossoM is probably going to have some regrets for the time being. Let's see how they finish this draft out. But the mobility now of the Illidan, you got the Greymane, the gank attempts are going to be real in the solo lane.
Yeah, the dive and all the auto attack cancels from Illidan will also be there. They decide, looks like they're going for the support choke here as a second ban. I was thinking of Tyrael would be also a great option because RRR, when they dive in, they will need that sanctification to protect them.
Judgment is also an opportunity to catch Tracer if you know recall is off cooldown. So I was thinking about the Tyrael pick as well. I think that if BlossoM doesn't run the Tyrael, maybe they plan on grabbing it here. I think RR will take it 100%. So taking the Uther away from BlossoM here. And they're probably going down Karazim path. We might even see Ariel for RRR because Karazim is not his... Neither heroes are the ones that you want with this comp. You definitely want the Uther most of all. The Rhaegar is pretty solid, but...
I think it's more of a talent wave. Tracer wants to go all-in Tracer with the Untouchable, maybe use Karazim with the Palm to save her every single time so she does not lose a stack, but more standard way, bring in the Malfurion because you got the shield from Tassadar. So that's also a very good support. Yeah,
the Twilight Dreams can be fight changers when the clone comes in, or you have that heavy commitment into the fights with the Greymanes coming, swinging. I mean, it could be a Greymane clone or an Illidan clone, both reasonable. Illidan's going to be a global here, something else to keep in mind. So Malfurion is going to be the choice, and it's going to be with Arthas, so another soft counter to this sort of dive comp. And also, if RR is planning on picking Tyrael, which no doubt that was their main focus here as their tank, the Arthas makes that pick a little bit less appealing now. You have the Twilight Dream well timed, you can cancel the Sanctification. We don't know it's going to be Sanct for sure, but very likely considering with the melee Illidan here, Greymane when he dives in, could even see Wisdom Duelist Greymane. Judgment can be used with the Hunt, so you can stack those stuns together. There's other ways to play this, but we'll see what they decide to do. I think the Tyrael pick is still a great option, even with Arthas on the other side.
Yeah, it's even more, because when Arthas is on the other side, you need to drop that Sanct. Of course, Judgment, as you mentioned, will be another option, but because there's Arthas, who will be very defensive onto the back line when they dive in, I think you really need another layer of protection onto Illidan and both Greymane. Tassadar is already taken. I think Tyrael is a very good choice, but what else are they thinking?
Well, Tekluke's on camera. He's going to be the man who makes the support choice. It's going to be Brightwing for the extra global, and it's going to be Stitches. The Brightwing pick worked well for RRR in game number 1, and I was a little bit skeptical, but I'll trust him this time. We'll see if the polymorph follow-up to the hooks are going to be better. And Brightwing obviously can push lanes a lot, so can Illidan. There's a lot of different ways to split push, get those bell tower advantages.
Okay, I can follow up with the Brightwing, but Samuro!
Okay.
The Monkey King is here.
First time of Phase 2. I don't think we saw him in Phase 1 in Korea, did we? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So first time in HGC Korea.
Once in MSP, yeah. I think one of the Europeans played it, but here we go. BlossoM is giving all out today. All
right, well, we'll talk about the Samuro pick, guys, as we get into game number 4. It's Towers of Doom This could be the win for BlossoM. Can RRR bring us to a game number 5? Let's find out. In blue, Wiz on Malfurion, Gondar on Arthas, Mora on Samuro, Dudu on Tracer, and No Chat on Tassadar.
And in red, RRR, Odak on Greymane, MSG on Illidan, EDZ on Avatar, Kong on Stitches, and Take a Look on Brightwing.
So, Samuro, he's okay at a lot of things, like pushing a lane because his clones.
He's actually pretty strong in pushing the lane too.
Yeah, he's strong at pushing the lanes with his clones. He's a good solo laner. He's going to be the solo laner here. It's very difficult to deal with a solo laning Samuro as an Illidan as well, because you don't know which one is the real one. You can kind of guess, but you don't want to commit in because you're going to lose the sustained fight if that actually happens.
I think this is the reason, the mirror image that Samuro has, because the hooks will be very threatening, especially to the back line. Having those fake ones in the front so that the hook is wasted onto the mirror images, I think that's a very good way of using Samuro against Stitches.
Yeah, you can use the mirror images to quite literally block the hook. I don't think we're going to see any sneak tactics with Samuro trying to kill an Abathur or anything like that, but that's also a small possibility. So, as you can see here, MSG obviously knows who the real one is, but committing heavily to trying to kill Mora or get a positive trade on him is going to be expensive for Illidan in terms of his health pool. So, it's always going to be, for Mora here, he's able to kind of sit back and sustain. He doesn't win the lane hard, but it's a strong solo laning presence, and when Illidan leaves, you can actually split push a lot more. So, kind of, in a way, giving them a strong split pusher when the altar phase happens. Can use the clones to delay the altar channels.
That too, indeed. Of course, after 10 RRR, with Illidan on their side, they will be very likely to be going for the hunt, to use that as a global to get all the altars, try to have the side, the back door onto the bell towers of top and bottom. And also having Brightwing will help that greatly with Avatar damage coming in.
Ooh! The root was good. It didn't matter.
There's a stack.
Stacking them up. It's like those Stormbolt stacks. So Samuro gets the first altar channel, actually.
Tassadar actually stops Illidan from...
They're going to try to just control this. Tekaluk very, very low. Doesn't have Emerald Wind this time. Hook comes in here, but it's too late. That's the pick. And this may be a triple altar here. There's the Pulse Bomb connection. It's a double here. Gondar gets out alive. And Samuro's going to channel the second one while having his clone split push the top. Gondar's been dove on here by MSG. A risky decision as Kong wants this. They're going to see the teleport in here. Now Tekaluk has made it in. It's a 1-for-1.
And it is...
If that teleport fails, then could have been really bad.
It is untouchable. Dudu will be getting those stacks. He could have got more stacks if he chose that from the very beginning, but he actually did not choose it until the very end of the fight, so he does not have any stacks yet.
I start to really appreciate this Samuro pick. How they've really coordinated the delay tactics coming out from the Tassadar. So Tassadar delays, he gets the channel while also being in the top lane. So annoying to deal with those monkeys in this case, as he's being the monkey skin. And Green Jesus, if that's your thing. But MSG once again going to go in, but into the Arthas here. The Howling Blast connects, and even with the Symbiote here, he finds himself trapped. Will have to retreat. Wants to go all the way in here onto Gondar, though, and Wiz doesn't have enough mana to heal him. He just barely gets that heal off. Parting Gift not enough. He does not want to lose those untouchable stacks.
Yeah, recalls, and the focus is on No Chat now. No, he does not survive. The cocktail damage is enough, but this entire time, he got the sappers on the camp, and the walls are already gone, and he will be looking for that bell tower in the later few minutes.
Ooh, MSG's going in again. I'm a believer of this guy after seeing what he just did in that last fight. Kong misses the hook. But yeah, as you said, the top lane push from Mora is what's more important than all of this. If you get that bell tower, it's going to be worth more than these kills. Cocktail doesn't connect here, unfortunately, but MSG will go in. The pulse bomb connects, however, and Dudu gets out, gets another untouchable stack. So yet again, this is a good trade for BlossoM because of this split push Samuro in the top lane. EGT, in fact, on Abathur up here is soon to be under fire. Calling the pings here. Tekaluk is going to come over. They're going to probably swap here now. The solo lane. Abathur will go elsewhere, so where he can't be bullied.
Yeah, that's a sign that Brightwing is coming to you. And Tracer barely survived. Could have almost lost a stack with another skill shot onto her face. But keeping that and also upgraded Blink for another charge so that Dudu can survive a little bit longer with the upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with Brightwing up there, actually EGT does stay in the top lane. We'll see if Brightwing where she's going to teleport to, or if Abathur will be the one doing that teleportation with his burrow. Samuro is just going to come mid here. It's a clone. MSG's not going to get too excited about those picks there. Clones don't give extra EXP like other heroes that kind of function the same way. Like it's like a Nova clone. You don't get EXP for killing that either. So push here is won by BlossoM. They have the Siege Knight advantage. And Samuro goes back to the top lane as soon as Brightwing comes down. Abathur teleports mid. This isn't going to be as bad for RR. I think Brightwing's coming back up to the top lane now.
Of course, the longer fight goes, BlossoM does have much the same, but their damage actually lacks in total. See the small damage going in one by one onto MSG. There's a pulse bomb to actually get the kill. If you go for a longer fight, and if RR gets you into the burst damage, they will win the fight for sure. And BlossoM, they are actually going for the longer kills when Samuro's doing all the work on the other side. So it works out perfectly.
And the hook there onto Arthas is just not the target they wanted. It was what gave the Howling Blast to get the kill onto Illidan in the first place. So a bit unfortunate. Good turnaround, though, by BlossoM, the Pulse Bomb you mentioned. And it's just another untouchable stack. We're getting up there now. I think all 5 are there. Mora knocking this bell tower down to half health, forcing Illidan to go back up there. They're actually committing heavily 2 heroes up there to get him off the push onto the bell tower. But this means no one's here to stop the channels. Double channel here. And they're going to take a massive lead in core health now. 12 health in advantage. And they only got the pick on Samuro. He nearly escaped. If he had gotten out, it felt even worse for RR. But it's not worth. It's not worth.
And it seems like he will be joining into the team fight now with the Blade Storm. Wow, that will be a lot of damage going into all the dives that they're going to do. Target seems to be on Tracer with so much heals, though. MSG is actually dives in, but it has to escape because of all the sustains.
Okay, we're going to see if the Force Wall can connect here. It does. The Twilight Dream just to make sure they get the kill. And very expensive in terms of heroic use here, but RR doesn't even have their heroics yet, so they can feel pretty good about this one. Only using really the 2 there, the Pulse Bomb commitment and the Twilight Dream. The Force Wall comes up super fast. Arthas actually did use his sustain as well there, just for safety, I suppose. And I mean, Mora is just continuing to try to find some extra value with the Samuro. Wasn't there for the team fight, and he's just hitting towers. I worry for RR because when you talk about getting picks versus getting the objective, it can be really useful, right? If for some reason it was Tracer split pushing and they got the kill on a Tracer and took all the untouchable stacks away, I'd be like, okay, I can make an argument for this. The problem is that they're not dealing with this well, even though they have the double global here. Ooh, nice hook here. Unfortunately, it's recall. And I'll hold that thought. I want to make a point, but they are going in.
But Dudu has the extra blink available, so there's a charge. They went all in there. Could not actually get the Gorge. With the Gorge, maybe they could have got a kill. But the Samura's doing work on top.
This is why you have to at least do something right, because if they didn't commit to getting the pick there, then they lose their bell tower, which is also significant. They're just being outplayed, even though they have an Abathur, even though they have a Brightwing. They don't have a strong global hero that can deal with the Samuro. And Illidan was never really pressuring him up there. He was always diving in for these fights. That's how MSG has been playing this. He's not getting any no-scopes. In fact, he got no-scoped by that Tracer Bomb. The Twilight Dream is good, but it's not enough.
He comes in for the fight, and Emerald Wind will save them from going down.
Can't lose these stacks. Needs to get out of here. Eats the flare to the face. He might go down. That was a close call. Gets out with his stacks. But The Twilight Dream was really good, but it just wasn't enough there with Tassadar getting out of the fight super early. But at the same time, the bigger picture here is not the kill counter. It's not the extra pushing power they had on that bell tower for just a second. The death timers. It's about the core health, and Samuro depletes that even further.
Yeah, of course, that's how you win game, not by getting kills of the other team. But that fight, actually, MSG pulled it out so well, did so much damage to Tassadar, and went out from the fight when he was the focused target, and he came back with the hunt to go in all in with the burst damage, and got Tassadar out, which eliminated all the shields on the other team. And without Tassadar, you could see, though, with the nerfs onto Malfurion, he's not as powerful as before.
It's definitely true. And I do have to give props to MSG's re-engage there. It was well played. So we see the hunt onto Samuro. Now they're dealing with Samuro with the Illidan. I expected to see a lot more of this. This is the kind of way that you deal with him.
The Poly, which was the real one?
He got away, but this is how you can get it. You can gank him. You can fly in, teleport with Illidan and the Brightwing gank. With Abathur, you get the picks, but because they fail, now this is going to get turned on them. Already the pick onto Tekaluk. If I say MLG, MSG is going to be taken out despite the sick MLG plays we've seen throughout this Towers of Doom game.
Lots of home runs, yes, for sure.
So it's that's the kind of picks we expected to see instead on the slow pushing Samuro, that coordinated gank when he's overextended. Surprised we didn't see those as MSG was trying to fight instead at the ultra phases. Nice dodge there on the hook.
Actually, no ice block from Brightwing either. So, and there's no blink kill for her own escape. So if she gets caught without the Emerald Wind, then it's gonna be a kill for sure. And that's what BlossoM caught right on the mid lane there. They're just out rotating, and this is exactly what RRR feared of. There's a gorge onto Arthas.
Here we go.
Fired on the other side. Emerald went to isolate. This is exactly what they wanted. All the multiple routes.
Body box too. Gondar goes down. Will they be able to turn this fight? The Blade Storm is doing some serious damage. Twilight Dream here for the disengage. They need to get out of here. And they will do just that after the Arthas pick there. Especially want to make sure that Tracer does not lose her stacks. 6 stacks for Dudu currently. I believe it goes up to a maximum of 15.
Yes,
pretty
30%. Yeah.
It's pretty crazy to ever really get to that stage, but could happen. The game's not over yet. There's still a lot of time left.
It's all up to Tracer. If she overextends a little bit and gets killed, then they will lose all the damage that they have too. Pulse Bomb has been super good onto almost every single time. I believe I only saw it on the ground once out of 7 this game. So Dudu's on fire with Tracer right now.
Yeah, the Pulse Bomb accuracy has been really good, and it's been oftentimes enough to finish off the targets. He's also built it up very quickly each time. Can't say anything bad about his Tracer. I just feel like RRR's decision-making, sometimes it looks really good when they get these picks or they have these sudden collapses on, but the bigger picture is still the core health.
The cocktail damage is real. That's a lot of damage, but the core.
Here's another Pulse Bomb onto Kong, unfortunately, so he's going to survive here. That's going to be the pick onto Dudu. All the stacks are down. The hunt here onto Wiz. He is hunted. Can he get out? Looks like he will be able to mount up here, but it's not going to be without Gondar's death.
No, chat. Walled Gondar out of the fight, says, sorry, I have to live, but see all the stacks gone.
This could be a turning point here for RRR, removing those stacks, taking this bell tower lead for the first time in the game. As we go into the last triple, this is a huge opportunity. EGZ even getting involved on the channeling effort here, just to make sure they can get all 3. With the triple, it will take 12 away, and they'll only be 1 behind with 18 remaining. If they get the 3, that is, Oduck here is unfortunately the one who gets targeted, so they're going to get 2/3. He actually gets away, so they get 2/3 still. He doesn't die.
That's the clone out, so that's a big thing for the next team fight for sure. And the entire team comes in. He does tons of damage to Samuro. The mirror image at the perfect time to dodge the hook. But here comes MSG.
Okay, big roots coming in. Mora does not have Blade Storm, so he's not much of a fighter, Samuro, when he doesn't have that one. He's going to back away. They still want the triple channel here. More health on the side of RRR, though. They've got larger pools here. Here's the hook onto Dudu. Still willing to back away, though. It looks like no check goes for the channel. Arcane Flare to delay. And Moro's actually just kind of going up to cleanup duty without the Blade Storm in the fight. Just wants to get the extra soak. They may just have to let this go. Yep, they do.
This is a comeback. 15 now down. 5 shots into the core. BlossoM was leading by, I believe, 12 shots in the beginning of the game. With this boss, too. They should realize and try to contest at least.
They were up 13, and it was 12 they were going to get, but because they got the bell tower, it was 15. Here's the hook gorge. They lose the boss shots as well. That's down to 11. RR is bringing it back here. Okay, Gondar very aggressive. The Emerald Wind blocks Dudu out, but Gondar is in the right spot. The teleport does not go off. MSG is caught here as well. Gondar on fire here. Coming up all the way to the force wall here to zone. The vulnerability coming up onto the Stitches. That's the triple. Looks like it's going to be the quad kill here. The recall is real.
Barely survived. I thought Tracer was dead, but recall at the perfect timing. Gondar with those roots. He is crazy right now, getting all the roots onto Illidan, Greymane every single time, and also Brightwing. Brightwing actually could have escaped, but that root actually got them a kill, and it started from there on. Gondar
is one of the players going into this second split here that was considered to be one of the new up-and-comers, one of the toughest players that we were going to see. There was a lot of hope and promise coming into this season because of him. He's been so inconsistent so far, but this has been one of his better games. Now they have the 6 altars, so it's going to be constant shots here. This almost never happens in professional play. It only happens in Supreme late game after a team fight that's won during a Bell Tower invade. They get 20 with this as well. This is basically game over for RRR. They're not going to die right away, but they have such a massive disadvantage now. They have to deal with all these Bell Towers, all the camps that are pushing as well. So going to go down to 13 health, that final shot. The altar is going to be still 5 shots. Worst case scenario, could still be the 6 here. And Wiz is just going to get it before they can get that bell tower, so it's going to be the 6 shots. It's going to put them down to 7.
Okay, the hunt used to block everything from going in. A lot of damage onto the core. 7
Force
left.
wall.
Force wall used, but Pulsar misses gladly for RRR there.
Okay, several shots going through.
On the other side, you will get with the Emerald Wind. Perfect zoning.
Okay, they get 3 more shots though. Now they have that nice 7 health lead. They're just going to fall back here to this bell tower. Pretty unreasonable to expect these next pumpkin men get escorted in, but still, they could just fall back to this while the respawn's coming. They're looking for blood, though. We see the commitment. Samuro diving in. Mora pops that Blade Storm. And here's the big Twilight Dream. They may win this fight 4v5. They kill the Greymane here with the Pulse Bomb. That's the kill on the Stitches. There's no way to end the game right now because the only cap available is the top one. The boss isn't available either. HGC just drops the clone out here. They're just going to take Bell Towers with this and extend the lead. Tegaluk, though, why? Why? He's down now, and that's a 60-second respawn timer.
And that's a sad cloud on your face, of course, and no way. And next auto phase will be a game for sure, unless it's just one. But this is Tarzan Zoom. Anything can happen, but that death timer looks way too long right now. 4 shots.
I mean, basically anything will do it. If they get all 3 bell towers, which is a strong possibility, that will do it. Looks like that may be their plan. I mean, there's no other objectives on the map, right? He's going to soak to try to get the top neutral camp, I guess. Mora's up there right now, but we'll see if he goes for that. That's not enough to end the game. He'll need one more core shot.
Or any of altars that spawns next time.
Yeah, that's right. So
they're
just going to protect this. And then eventually, if they protect this and eventually Mora gets the top one, they win the game. So it's basically checkmate right now for RR. How could they possibly defend the top altar while clearing an altar and or getting the bottom bell tower? They don't have a global that can teleport instantly to it. They are going to get this mid bell tower taken away at the cost of a lot of the health of the top one. They're going to now have to invade and stop this altar channel. They have to make this happen while also dealing with the pumpkin men that are being escorted over right now.
But if they lose a man here, that's going to be a game for sure.
Okay, bell tower does go down. They're on the chase here now. This is their opportunity. MSG's coming in. We'll see the clone coming in from HGC very soon. Here it comes. It's on to Greyman. They're just going to try to time it out. They want to time this out. Ice Block used to protect against the hunt. Here comes Mora from the top lane. Blade Storm comes down. MSG looks like he might be the first to fall. Storm Shield's not enough to protect him. Here comes the silence. And this looks like this is game over. Pulse Bomb to seal the deal here. Emerald Wind's not going to save anybody. Kong is going to go down. It's going to be the full wipe. And that is GG. Shots on the core. What a long, intense game, and Samuro, the pick with massive value in the top lane. And the first time we've seen it this whole year in Korea. He also, along with Mora's earlier Lava Wave, have a 100% win rate.
That Blade Storm, not just the Blade Storm, the pick, the value of Samuro when the top lane, they started getting the macro push from the beginning of the game until the late game. He was basically like the solo playing RPG on his own.
Yeah, he was PvE mode. He was playing, he's like, I'm just trying to get my Overwatch skin. How many games do I have to play? So
those Blade Storm actually looked so scary, but didn't do too much damage. All the damage came out from Tracer with all those stacks. Tracer actually lost only got one death and lost her stacks, but got all the stacks back with, I believe, 6 all the way up to 10 at the end of the game, I think.
This feels like a solo lane hero that we are going to see more of, to be honest, after watching this game. I don't know if we will. I can't speak to the highest level of play in Korea, as BlossoM's toward the bottom end, right? They did take the 3-1 here. RR took their first win. Looked like it might have been their first series win. They looked really good. They had some solid drafting, some really good play today. They stepped it up since what we saw from them last week for sure. Remember, this is only our first best of 5 of the night.
That's right.
And we're going to have an interview and stuff like that. But we'll see if Samuro continues to make a splash. You have to assume that Mora, a.k.a. Modern Life, was his old idea on Tempest, will be the one who's interviewed after that Samuro play. But it could be Dudu after what we saw from that Tracer, too.
Yeah, his Tracer was indeed super great. Those pulse bombs, and it landed almost every single time. And at the very end, too, he even, after throwing that, he was saying, bye, I know you're going to be dead, so I don't even have to touch you anymore. Very good indeed plays. I actually want to ask No Chat how he felt when he tossed that wall. That could throw off a team, you know.
Yeah. Gondar played really well in that final game on the Arthas. The hooks onto MSG were, I think, really what won them a lot of the team fights where they were being dove. Not necessarily what won them the game, but there were a lot of really difficult situations where Moro was pushing the top lane. It was a 5v4 with the clone, basically, so 4v4, but the clone comes in, or the symbiote's there. The dive is real, and without those perfect Howling Blasts, maybe we saw that we would have seen Dudu lose his stacks earlier, would have died, not maintaining that 6 untouchable stacks for so long. They got that wipe, which gave him 4 more. They got all 3 bell towers, which, again, is just a rare situation. Does not really happen in professional play, so we saw a little bit of everything in that series, though. We saw the Cho'Gall. We saw the Samuro Lava Wave. What's next?
What's
MVP
next?
versus L5.
Yes, that's next. But before we will have an interview, we don't know yet. We actually had Gondar interviewed before, so I think it's very likely Dudu. But Gondar playing his best on Stitches and with the hook today.
Could also be, of course, Mora, but we will see. G-Club's here. We have that trumpets playing. We know it's time. I'll let you translate.
자, 저희 인터뷰로 돌아왔습니다.
Mora.
축하드립니다. 아, 엄청난 경기력이었습니다.
Congratulations, Mora.
너무 아주
Previously, Modern Life.
네.
마지막에 저 그렇게 행복해하시는 분도 처음 본 것 같아요.
Marion, I never
저희가
seen you
인공을
so
확인했어요.
happy.
도대체 얼마나
in
어떤
HGC.
기분이셨어요?
How happy were you?
너무 재밌게 게임한 것 같아요.
I think that game was so much fun,
진짜서
actually.
이겼을 때 가장 행복한 거 아니겠습니까?
네,
Of course, winning is so
오늘
fun, but
삼으로 하셨잖아요.
your
네.
Samuro play
마지막에 죽음의 춤 찍었어요. 죽음의
네네.
춤.
and your upgrade onto
세
Blade.
명이서 칼날 폭풍 쓸 때. 그런 맛은 어떤가요?
How
처음
did it
찍어봤어요.
feel? It was actually my first time
원래
picking
이게
아침에서 오케이
that
가는
talent
건가요?
20.
네.
네.
환영의 대가리 찍어서
예.
이제 두 캐릭은 라인을 보고 한 캐릭은 시야를 보는 그런 플레이로 하려고 했었는데
예.
Oftentimes we go for
너무
the
잘못
illusionist,
찍었어요, 오늘.
and Illusion Master and
근데
go for.
어떻게 그런 상황에서도 멘탈이 무너지지 않았죠?
But I actually
그냥
kind of
즐겁게
misclicked it.
오, 즐기는 자.
I just
즐기는 자를
enjoyed it,
그러니까요.
even if that was a
뭡니까?
misclick.
그때 그 맵이 뭐였었죠?
어떤 거요?
거미 여왕의 무덤에서
네.
예, 갑자기 막 용암이 막
용암파도
뭐예요?
That
그거는?
lava wave,
오늘
what was
그것도
that
잘못
for
찍은
too?
아니요, 그거는 원래 찍기로 돼 있던
아,
거예요.
그래요?
The lava wave was
나지보를
not a misclick, it's for sure.
20레벨에 이제 좀
어.
손해를 많이 안 보면서 가면은
With the
네.
surge, we wanted to have a
확률이
long game
높다고 생각을 해서
오.
그렇게 전략식으로
to actually limit all the losses
참고로
with the
혹시
wave.
좀 어디서 그런 것도 착안을 했나요? 나지보를 20레벨까지 버티게 만들어서
Who was the one
라인
actually
화살심장부와
studied all
용암파도를 좀
that
막았겠다,
and brought that
이런
up?
네네.
Was that all the
준비가 되어
team?
있네요.
The Wiz?
상대가 입금을 해도 상대가 원래는
Even if they
이득을
get all the
못 취해야
turn
되는데
in.
좀 실수를 많이 해가지고
예.
이득을 취해주게 됐는데 원래는 네, 그렇게 생각하고 있었어요.
자,
We're thinking
일단은
that we could
블라썸
counter it
입장에서
with the
블라썸
lava
이제
wave
지금
and Nazeebo
숙소를-
late game.
네,
네, 숙소 생활 지금 하고 있는 상황이죠.
네 하고 있어요.
네, 어떻게 뭐 팀
Now you're into the team house
네,
with BlossoM.
정말 다
How is it?
재밌게 게임을 하고 있습니다.
아, 다 재밌게.
지금
이거 되게 중요한
I'm having a
얘기거든요.
lot of fun in the
재밌게
team
하면
house
더
indeed.
실력도 금방금방 느는 거거든요.
네.
지금 보니까 또 새로운 픽들도 블라썸이 많이 보여주기
So lots
위해서
of
노력하고 있는 것 같은데
new picks.
연습에서의 상황이라든가 본인들이 계속해서 조금씩 발전해 나가고 있는 것들이 좀
Do you think
느껴지나요?
you're improving with the team
네,
house with the practice?
템페스트랑 경기에서
네.
이제 좀 원래 생각이 많이 고여 있었어요.
Against
네.
Tempest, we
템플이.
were
그래서
very
이제
down after
그거를 이제
after the match.
넘어야죠 이제 그렇게 생각하고
But and
있어요.
then we
많이
realized we
연구를 하고
clear our heads
그래도
and
뭐
thought we have
사실은
mountains
블라썸
to
입장에서
climb
블랙
and we have
그때
to
뭐
work on it.
한경기들 잡을 때도 그렇고 그 전에 뭐 템페스트의 패배를 가져가긴 했습니다만은
네.
오늘 승리를 통해서 이제 앞으로의 발판은 제대로 이제 마련이
Of course, with the
됐습니다.
win today, you
7,
can
8위는 진짜
step
아니니까
up your
중위권이라고
play
봐야 되는
going
거
up
아니에요.
on the ladder.
3, 4, 5, 6이니까
네.
어디까지 올라갈 것 같아요?
Where do you think yourself will be
목표?
ending at
좀 궁금하네요.
by the end of the
목표는
season?
3위가
아,
목표예요.
3위가
와.
목표입니까?
Our goal is
그러면은
to be
본인
in
아래
the third place.
4위와 5위는 누구죠?
Then who's below you? Who's
이건 잘
fourth and fifth?
아, 하지만
I'm
무조건 목표는
not sure.
3위까지 가서 어떻게든 해외에 나갈 수 있는
Whatever
방법을
we
좀
take,
그려보겠다.
whatever it
이렇게.
takes, we're gonna
네.
go
볼수
to the third
전부 다
place
그러니까
and go to
선수들이
that
대만을
Eastern
좀 꿈꾸고
Clash.
있는 그런 상황이거든요.
That's what you're looking
네.
for, right?
팀 내 분위기라든가 현재 본인들이
Of
올라가고
course.
있는 상승세로 봤을 때 충분히 가능하다고 봅니까?
Do you think it's possible,
음.
realistically?
조금 더 실수를 적게
I think we have to lessen our
템픽을
mistakes.
좀더
네.
잘하면 충분히 가능할 것
And
같아요.
I think
혹시
with that,
준비되어 있는
it's
우리가
possible.
지금까지 나오지 않았었던 영웅이라든가 진짜 새로운
Is there
메타라든가
anything else
이런 것도 준비되어
like the other meta or some other hidden picks?
그건 있어도 약간
얘기하면
Even if we have it,
있다고 얘기하면
I can't
안
tell
맞는
you.
거죠.
tell you.
확실히
He's like, I hate when
렉스는
casters
어떻게
ask me this.
He's like,
아니,
oh,
궁금해요.
they're also
뭐예요?
hinting that they
게이머들이
also
렉선에
have
대해서 어떻게
something.
생각하는지 궁금하잖아요.
아 그래요. 들어보겠습니다.
엑사르 항전 브락시스 항전 같은 맵에서는
For
충분히
Braxis, I
뽑을
think
만한
Rexar
가치가
is
있다고
an okay
네.
pick too.
네,
하지만 안 할 거죠.
But you're not going to use it though, right?
잘 모르겠어요.
네,
I'm not
알겠습니다.
sure
자 마지막으로
was
블라썸
the answer.
팬분들에게 감사의 말씀 그리고 각오 한 말씀만 좀
And for the
부탁드립니다.
shout out, you want to give
블라썸을
your shout outs to your fans?
응원해 주셔서 감사드리고
Thanks for rooting for
이번
BlossoM all the time.
시즌에는 좀 더 많이 좋은 모습 보여드리도록
And in this season, I
노력하겠습니다.
hope to bring
알겠습니다. 앞으로도
better
좋은 모습
better
부탁을
matches and
드리도록
games for you
하겠습니다.
guys.
자 오늘 있었던 경기
Thank you all the
결과
time.
한번 살펴보도록 하겠습니다.
And that's it. The interview with Mora after taking a strong comeback after losing the first Inferno Shrines.
Well, the series started off with the oh my dog for RRR, but after that it was all Bible thumps as BlossoM was able to take it 3-1, and spectacular fashion, really unique picks. We saw the Cho'Gall dominate the early game to the Spider Queen. They had the better late game fight. That one was messy. Okay, that was probably the least clean game of the series, shall we say? But bringing the Samuro pick in at the end was pretty sick. It worked really well. You got to hear some of the decisions there, going to Lava Wave, etc. So a good MVP, I'd say. Finally got to hear from one of the players that you and I really wanted to hear what he was going to say. Like, we actually got our wish here, so I'm very happy with that. But tonight, that was just an appetizer,
Yes.
okay? That was just a snack.
The
Speaking of
main
snacks,
entry is waiting.
you should go get one, maybe get a beer, get a soda, get a coffee, because we're going into L5 versus MVP Black. That's going to be our second match of the night. It's going to be right here on this channel. When we come back, we'll have it. You'll have it too.
디바 역시 아군을 지켜주는 용도만
예.
쓰겠다. 프로 선수의 발락.
예.
꿰뚫기 3인. 우와. 끌어왔는데
디바 매틱스가 너무 잘 들어간 것도 있고요.
네. 칼날 간통까지는 맞지 않았어요.
그렇죠. 그래서 오히려
예, 안 되겠다 싶으면 자폭하면 되고 되겠다 싶으면 안 써도 되고요.
그렇죠.
자, 한타 싸움 계속
그리고
이어지겠네요.
계속해서 아서스가 비벼주고 캐리건을
역시
자폭이치 좋아요. 자폭이치 너무 좋아요.
잡았어요. 그 캐리건
네.
잡았어요. 성체가 얼마 없어요.
성체 시켜야 돼요.
깡총.
야, 깡총 걸어가서 와,
야, 3명까지.
이러면 성체 각이죠. 이게 말이 안 되게 좋다는 거예요.
위즈.
한 번 더. 용거.
위치 선정이 좋습니다. 좋아야 돼요.
네. 와, 사인. 불멸의 갓사인. 네, 다시 한번 그 모두 나왔죠.
와, 라그나로스와
라그나로스.
TRL입니다.
와.
크로미가 마지막에 선택되는.
푸나틱이에요?
프라틱에 라그나로스를 더해는 거죠.
역시나 크로미가 눈에 띄죠.
네.
최고로 눈에 띄죠.
그렇습니다.
그리고 이렇게
여기
연계 플레이가
사이버!
깔끔하게 들어갈 수 있는 거죠. 그리고 킬을 만들어내면서 바로 또 한 번
여기다가
들어가요.
이게 썰프로스 강타지.
야,
예. 와우.
이거 할만 나겠는데요, 게임.
때문에 조심해야 됩니다. 쭉 빠져야 돼요.
그렇죠. 이것도 수정범에 빼는 거예요. 수정범에
그리고
잡히는 이런
이어지는
심판이죠.
발판이 들어가면서
이러면 심판에다가
완벽하죠.
이거는 무조건
이거는요.
이만의 상황을
다
만들었어요. 네? 시간이 걸렸으니까 수정범에 빠졌죠?
네.
그리고 핵이 나왔죠. 이게 푸나틱이야, 마이티야.
이건 마이티의 팬이 늘어나는 소리가 들리는데요. 유럽 거 받아들이니까는 어떻게 우리 거 될 것 같아요? 그 메타 자체가.
아 이미 저희 거 아닌가요?
오 마이 갓! 오 마이 갓!
그렇죠. 제라툴을 복사하고 상대방 딜러진을 투 제라툴이 괴롭힌다. 사실 이것도 진짜 핵고통이거든요.
들어갑니다.
자, 이 싸움을 거는 이유는 일단 순간이동을
와,
빼고
힘에
난
가면
이후에
있어도 죽어요. 이거 안 되겠는데요?
자, 저 하나는 복수나.
위험할 수 있는 상황인데.
과감성이 막, 와, 그냥.
이거를 하나 밟아요.
아니 이 선수 왜 대학화만 시킨 거예요?
물었는데 조커는 그냥 엄청 잘했어요.
되도록이 빠져 있거든요.
이러면
자, 그리고
죽는다.
날카로운 계란.
요거 마무리.
이러면 다 죽죠.
네.
와.
자,
아니,
가둬놓고 때려.
진짜
가둬놓고.
굿이에요. 이거는 그냥 진짜 굿이네요.
진짜
네.
이 선수는 완전히
진짜 이
베리굿이에요.
선수.
너무 잘해요. 그 지난 시즌도 지금 유망주였었는데
네.
이번 시즌 그냥 완전 잘해요.
정말 굿이었습니다.
Summer is upon us, and we've got a whole new set of sizzling seasonal items we're bringing into the game. Along with all the great content, we're also inviting you to participate in our Suns Out, Guns Out sweepstakes for your chance to win some ridiculously impressive rewards. Starting on June 27th, every week for 4 weeks, we'll be giving away 5 Suns Out loot chests to 100,000 winners, 50 Suns Out loot chests to 10,000 winners, a suite of Blizzard games, and $250 in Blizzard balance to 50 winners, 30 legendary skins and Heroes of the Storm to 50 winners, a Blizzard collectible Illidan statue to 10 winners, and a fully loaded high-end PC rig to 1 lucky player drawn each week. To participate, simply win 1 game a day in any mode for a single entry into the weekly drawing. If you win a game every day, you will earn the maximum 7 possible entries for that week. We're giving away 1 million loot chests a week for 4 weeks straight. That's insane! And to top it all off, at the end of the 4 weeks, we'll toss all your entries across the event into one final giveaway where we'll award 2 lucky participants an all-expense-paid trip for 2 to BlizzCon later this year. The only thing better than